Okay. So Talifhani, thank you very much for making time to share your insights into the future of leadership. But
Thank
before
you,
we,
Dr. Nick. I truly appreciate it.
you're welcome. Before we walk into the future, can you share a little bit about your own background? Where did you grow up?
Um, I grew up in Louis Trichet. It's in Limpopo, around the N1 if you're driving down. But it's a great place to grow up and dream. I dreamed a lot there, and that's where I'm coming from.
Okay, now can you tell us what was your dream career when you grew up?
Um, I used to speak that I'm going to be in business. I just didn't know what exactly, but I envisioned myself in business, and I went to study commercials with mathematics. And in my class, I was just the only one doing maths, and they just didn't understand me. It was because I wanted to understand commercials, but also understand mathematics. Because I'm not doing it because it's for stupid people. I'm doing it because I know where I'm going. You know?
Right.
Yes.
And tell us who inspired you in your early days?
To be honest, I was inspired. I'm a product of multiple pioneers. I used to read a lot about Steve Jobs. I read everything. I listened to everything. What I learned from Steve Jobs is mainly about branding and marketing and how he used his passion and skills to sell Apple. And I also got inspired by Floyd Mayweather, who's a boxer. Funny that he's a boxer, but what I got touched about him was he's got this heart that you can't take him, you can't break him down. He's just got this heart that is for champions to win. And I had that in me. I connected with him because of that. And the rest was addition of a little bit of Jay-Z there, a little bit of Les Brown, a little bit of Richard Branson, a little bit of, I read a lot about Robert Greene. I read all the books of Robert Greene. So he inspired me a lot.
Okay, now you started your career as a brand analyst at Damon. You then moved on to
Yeah,
Damon.
as a data analyst. Yes.
You then
I
moved on.
started as a data analyst. So
Yeah.
I graduated University of Victoria in statistics. I majored in economics, statistics, informatics, and some financial modules. And then when I started my career, I started at Damon in analytics team. So Damon is it's an international company, so they were very deep in analytics, and that was back in 2013, and that's where I fell in love with analytics.
Right. And then you moved to Daimler and Pick and Pay. Can you maybe share a
Yeah,
couple of highlights from your Pick and Pay
I
days?
so I moved after Damon. I moved to Pick and Pay to Damelin. I wanted to
Yeah.
lecture, and I already had a vision for the business. Then I started a business with my school friends. We wanted to do analytics, focus on analytics. I'm the one who came with the vision and all of that, but I just realized as I was working with them that they didn't get it, and we just had to stop it. But I moved to Pick and Pay. When I moved to Pick and Pay, I was just so much interested on because we were doing pricing and promotion analytics. And we got involved into marketing with buyers. Buyers, the guys who set up prices and make negotiations with suppliers. I fell in love with all of that process of negotiation, setting up prices, and also understanding customer insights. Like when people go to Pick and Pay, they buy with a smart shopper. It's for the business to collect data about customers and understand customer patterns. And I fell in love with that because you are now able to make wise decisions with the data you have. And that's where I was coming. And I kept on telling the business that I want to be applying analytics in advertising, keep moving, please move me in advertising. And I remember my manager at that time, he was just like, just give me more time, I'll put you in. And it just took so much that I just left.
And looking back over your career, Tadi, would you say there was a major turning point?
Major turning point in the sense of in corporate world or in my personal, in me being in business?
In business, you being in business.
Me being in business, it was by far the turning point. I was on trough and I started growing to upswing, and now I'm living the life I wanted. it's natural to me to be in business, to be in meeting, to be talking to anyone. Just like talking to you, it's natural for me. You can never see me shy. You can never see me fold under pressure. I think as we talk, and this is my environment. I'm free. I'm available. Yes. So it's definitely is.
And you are now the founder and CEO of Analytics Advertising. Yeah.
100%.
Now you've grown the company. I think you've just taken new offices. Can you tell us a little bit more about Analytics Advertising?
So my wife, she's also a data science, and I kept on telling her that, you know what, I want to start the whole thing. I want to start this date. I want to apply analytics into advertising, because I saw in Pick and Pay and other businesses that it was so crucial to make wise decisions with data. But I didn't want to just do data. I wanted to focus on analytics. And when I started thinking about starting a business, I realized that I need to negotiate with my wife and let her understand that I'm going to be leaving corporate and I'm going to be focused on this thing full time. She asked me, are you sure? And are you really, really sure that you're going to withstand the pain and whatever it comes with? I said, that's already given. I'm ready for it. And when I started analytics, I was very sure of what it's going to turn out to be. I could see the trend of digital economy evolving. I remember I used to speak everything, even with the analysts at Pick and Pay and the other companies that I went after that. They were very much tired of me speaking about the same thing. So when I started analytics advertising, I knew the vision is to bring the science of analytics into advertising. But to break through, I need to have tapped into different environments. So I got involved into media, to work with some media guys, and that over 10 helped me. Now I work with influencers, so I've built relationship with a lot of media guys. And because of my relationship in corporate, I've built relationship with suppliers and other guys who own brands. And now I'm able to marinate influencers, digital advertising, and suppliers of these brands into one. And I built this powerful brand called Analytics Advertising.
So, Talifhani, what is driving you today?
What drives me is the hunger for more. I feel like I have more to give and help others. In economics and econometrics modules that I was in, they used to talk about, look at here, there's a high rate of unemployment, there's this and this. All these economists, I just felt like they're talking about problems, but nobody's in the field and solving them. And I looked at me, I see me as the person who should be in the field. And I'm not different from any other economist, any other financial advisor, any other person. I'm the same with those smart guys. And I'm sitting here. I want to be an example that you can apply the knowledge from university or wherever you've acquired it and apply it in business and build it in a way that is not just a look. It is what it says it is, and that's what drives me.
So looking into the future, Talifhani, and I know it's a big question, but what does the future of leadership mean to you?
Yeah. To me, leadership means to put yourself in a position where you've helped others become leaders. Like a true leader is one who helps others to lead themselves. So in my journey of being a leader, I want to help people find themselves. I want to help them find their true passion, find their what they really need to be doing. If they don't belong in analytics advertising, I must help them figure out what they really need to be doing. But most people that I've got in the team, they found themselves, and that's the reason why they are part of the team. And my leadership skills, it's to breed leadership in others. I've got that character and spiritual gift in me to give it to others and share the light.
Now, Talifhani, what have you learned from your own journey that you consider most important for building future leaders?
What I've learned most importantly is to be patient. Be very patient to what you are trying to do. Believe in it. Believe in what you do. Truly, truly believe in it, and don't just do something because somebody else is doing it. And don't just do things just to prove a point or just to show face. And like, I don't think people have realized that whatever you say and whatever you do, it's very important. So mean every word and mean every action. So in my journey, when you see me saying anything, I mean it. When you see me doing everything, I mean it, and I'm aware of what I'm doing. And that's why I'm very much aware of what the whole business is going to bring to me. That's why my life is very like, it's clean, everything. So I'm very much aware of what's coming, and I'm prepared for it.
So, when you speak to aspiring leaders, what is it you tell them about social media? How should they navigate social media to build their own personal brand?
Yes, I think the future of marketing is moving digital, and it's like if you are not digitally active, and you are well known, the people who are coming up now and they are digitally active and they are influential digitally, they will be more powerful than you who have built the brand over the years through word of mouth and conferences. So even businesses, large corporation is the same. They might be big corporations now and doing well in their fields, but if they are not digitally active, another corporation that is only digital and doing the same thing that they're doing, if it evolves and become influential online, is going to replace that major corporation that used to be big, just because they failed to adapt to digital economy. And a lot of corporations, they can adapt to it, and the problem is they need smart people to get to the level where they are. Because if you're just going to build just to show that I'm also online and not really active, you're not going to leverage from the audience and what it brings.
So, what is your advice for future leaders in terms of challenges? What are some of the biggest challenges they should expect to encounter in their career?
They should expect failure. I've seen a lot of people, it's like as soon as you talk about failing, is because school teaches you not to fail. So there are a lot of smart people that I've met in my life, and I went to university with some smart people. They are not used to failing. So when I'm sitting with them, sometimes when I'm telling them I failed there and I couldn't close this deal and I couldn't pay rent here and my office was almost, all of that stories, when I tell them, they just feel like this guy takes so much risk. He doesn't think properly. So what I can tell them is, um, adapt to failure. Understand that failure and success are brothers. They move together.
Now, Talifhani, if you were to design a curriculum for future leaders, what are some of
Yes.
the new skills you would want to factor in?
The biggest skill that I will start with is, this is very important to me. I would, instead of offering content to people to study and memorize it, I will design models that help them understand who they are. If anybody finds themselves, their true instincts will tell them what they need to do. It's like you are a knife and you just need to find out whether you are a table knife or a meat knife or whatever. But because the education doesn't tell you what type of a knife you are, they just tell you, just go cut. You end up cutting, you end up being a table knife cutting meat, and you are not really cutting it properly because you don't have that strength. But if you had played in the table, you would have been a champion there. So I think the secret is to find people to find themselves. So my curriculum initially will build people to find and understand themselves. And after they've understood themselves, I'll categorize them into their own field. When they are in their own fields, then I start teaching them information and content that will make them expand and grow in who they are. Yes.
Now, Talifhani, as a mentor to future leaders, can you maybe share a success story where you mentored an upcoming leader and that person took your advice to heart?
I think I've mentored multiple people. Me, like I know I'm becoming more relevant now everywhere, but I've built the brand from the beginning, and I was advising people and I was showing people direction. One person is a good friend of mine, Rendani. He in 2017 went to uh, what's this place? He went to study MBA in China. No, I'm just missing the name. But what he was going to do was to study MBA and everything in business. And when he was there, I kept on talking to him, and I kept on showing him how business is progressing here and all of that. When he came back, he wanted to go back to corporate, and I told him, "My man, you're too smart to be going back to corporate. I think you've got the capability to employ the future uh, uh, university graduate. I will be here to work with you and show you my ways of direction." And the good thing about him is he took my advice and started being in business. And sometimes he now tells me advices, or I think on that model, on that, what you are trying to do, use it this way or use it that way. He uses his MBAs and MBA knowledge to help me as well. So I feel like I've helped him realize and discover who he is. And I'm proud of that. And there's many others.
So Talifhani, are there any role models of leadership that you would recommend future leaders should study and learn from?
Yes, yes. They are the guys that I'm really studying now. I'm studying Elon Musk. Is one of the guys that I really truly connect with him because he believes in what he wants to do and he goes fully in. The only problem with that is it's too risky. So you have to be knowing whether this is for you. You know, so if you are that kind of person, you can go and study more about Elon Musk. If you want to be in sports, go and study somebody like Floyd Mayweather, because he's not just like a biggest boxing uh, person by just luck. He's just the best in what he does, and he truly believes in him. So if you want to be in sports, you can go check him out. If you want to be innovative and come with new models that were not there, you can still study Elon Musk. But there are other guys like Steve Jobs who are no longer with us that I feel like they were very innovators and pioneers that you can study their books. Their books are still there and their knowledge is still there. And if you really don't believe in yourself and you feel like you you just want to get to a level where you just want to understand who you truly are, there's a book by Gayton Mackenzie. It's from here, South Africa. It's called The Hustler's Bible. If you read that, I think you'll connect with yourself. And there's the famous book, Robert Kiyosaki, Rich Dad Poor Dad. I think that's the if you can combine some of these things, you can find yourself.
Now, Talifhani, how can our listeners connect with you, and where should they follow you?
I'm available on digital platforms. I'm on LinkedIn, Talifhani Banks. I'm on Instagram, Mr. Banks_AA, and analytics advertising page is there. And we are on the website, www.analyticsadvert.com. And I'm on Facebook as well, Talifhani Banks. I'm just everywhere and I'm sharing content. I'm willing to learn. And also, I'm a student of the game, but also I'm willing to teach as well what I know and the struggles of business and believing in yourself. Yeah.
Now, last but not least, Talifhani, is there one piece of advice that you would really like to convey to future leaders that they should implement in their own leadership?
Yes, find yourself. You know, there are so many people who are just doing things because the environment or people around them just say, do this. And I'm one of the person who was in your shoes. I mean, I was sitting there in corporate knowing very well that I've got the ability to build a company like analytics advertising. But the people I'm talking to around me and everyone, they don't see it because when I'm there, it's like I'm a bird amongst chickens. And I'm not saying it in a bad way, but I'm saying that I'm a bird and I know truly that I can fly. But when I'm with chickens, when they see me flying, they're like, you can't fly that high here. We don't fly that high. We only fly this limited space. But they just don't know that my character and who I am, I can fly high. So I think find yourself, because finding yourself will tell you what you need, what you really, really need to start doing. And you cannot just be doing things to pass time or to pay bills. You know, I also had bills when I started. Bills, they come and go. One thing for sure, like when you sign that deal for 1 million every month and you've got 10 clients giving you all these big numbers, you realize that what you are earning or what you were earning was nothing, you know, but you need to pay the price. When you find yourself, the next thing you need to have is consistency. Whatever you are starting, you must be consistent and believe in it enough that you don't have to wait for us to approve you that you can do it, because it's going to take some time. It's going to take some time. It's not just going to blow up same time. So find yourself, be consistent, and have gratitude. You know, like whatever you are getting, even if it's small thing, be thankful for them, because that just shows you your brain can create that. And if you are thankful enough and you would see the opportunity from that, you are able to expand what you've already got. So I just feel like that's my 3 ideas that I feel like you should apply. Find yourself, be consistent, and have gratitude.
Well, Talifhani, thank you so much for sharing your insights and your wisdom into the future of leadership and showing us a way.
Yeah.
And I'm really looking forward to seeing you and analytics advertising on the top of the world.
through this podcast, I believe that it's going to take me to another level. And I appreciate you, Dr. Nick, for seeing the talent in me. And it takes a great mind. I'm telling you, like, it takes a great mind and a very high spiritually connected person to see a true talent. And because you saw me, I respect you for that, because it says a lot about you and what you have. And I respect it. That talent and that eye that you have, it means a lot. And keep it there, because you're gonna tell them that you saw me before I was that big that I'm going to become. You saw me before. And that eye that you have is exactly what's going to separate you from everyone else. And I thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you very much.